All right, so we are up close and personal because we're in a tiny little car that's apparently supposed to be smart. It's a little smart car. It weighs the same as me, and it is quite literally the worst thing I've ever driven in my life. I wish we had on camera me driving the 40 minutes to get here, because it was a terrible and hilarious experience. There's an old Rolls-Royce ad that says, at 60 miles per hour, the only thing you'll hear is the ticking clock, because it's so quiet and nice. And in this, the only thing you'll hear at 10 miles per hour is a fucking wind tunnel. It's so loud. I will not take a sponsorship from Smart Car if you try. I have integrity, and I don't even know if the GoPro is going to film us, because it's just going to be. I'm on the. I could lick the camera from here. I'll talk more about the car when we get to our guest of the day, JP Sears. Now, I don't know what the JP stands for. I assume it's John Paul, but I don't think that's right. So JP Sears, you've probably seen him on the internet. He kind of took it over for a while. He's still everywhere. He's a long ginger-haired fellow who makes videos about things like gluten and paleo and vegans and such things. And so he basically built a really big following for himself by making fun of the things that everybody takes so seriously. And that's kind of his thing. But JP Sears, very funny human, very, very ginger. We are going to rock up to his place, and we're going to go get some beverages in maybe the worst vehicle that's ever been made, and I'm gonna try and find his house now. So I'm gonna focus on that because I've lost myself in his neighborhood somewhere. No outlet that way, so don't text and drive, kids.
You make me.
Hands down the worst vehicle. This shouldn't even be classified as a vehicle. I feel like a scooter is more of a vehicle than this shoebox. Why would I lock it? Like anybody's gonna break into that thing. Oops. Nice. Stop it. Stop. Don't panic. It's the right house, right?
Who is it?
Hello, how's it going,
Ian.
sir? How
Good,
are you?
Good to see you.
I genuinely tried to get a purple shirt and just wear it and not acknowledge it, but
Yeah,
how many do you have? Like 30?
man, at least 9.
Yeah,
Fuck,
good.
my cat got
Oh,
out.
Hey,
Look at this. We're off to a good start.
hey.
You're tearing my family apart.
Is this a little rag doll?
Yeah.
I had 2 rag dolls growing up. Oh my God, I miss my cats. They died.
Yeah, Lily is the sweetest thing ever. I think Lily and I were lovers in a past life.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Y'all want to come in?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, come on in. Enter.
This is incredible
This is
living
my
back
cat.
here, how much space you get.
This is my cat when she's on the inside.
it's so much
Would you
different.
like to hold her?
I would. I like doing the Lion King.
Yeah.
It's so chill. I forgot how chill they are.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're just a little sweetheart. This is Uncle Ian. Uncle Ian is not a registered sex offender, Lily.
This is great, man. This is awesome how much space you get back here when you go down to the deep south.
Yeah, we're just over the
Deep
border
South
here
Austin.
in Mexico, but you get a lot more for your money. I mean, this house, like with closing costs and everything, it was $300.
That's
But
wow.
I just
That's-
paid cash
yeah.
for it because I'm doing well.
Cash? You had 300 in cash?
Yeah, well, I cashed out a lot of my crypto stocks and
Yeah.
everything. I
No,
think
that's
that's the
useful.
term, crypto stocks,
I
is
think
it?
the crypto bonds.
Crypto bonds.
Bonds, yeah, crypto bonds.
Yeah.
Have you liked Austin?
I love Austin. That's the only reason why we moved here. The longer we're here, the more I like it. Yeah.
I'm actually moving.
Where are you moving to?
I'm moving to LA.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you lose your soul?
Probably like right around the year I was born.
Makes sense.
I
No.
think, yeah, it was right around.
And now it's being cashed in like a crypto bond. But I am curious, like as you move out to LA, like how much do you get nowadays on the black market for selling your soul?
Dude, I got like around $300, so I could buy a house here with it.
Here in Mexico,
And
you
then
could
in
have
and then in LA, I can get about one night at an apartment, in a small apartment,
in a bad neighborhood.
in a bad neighborhood,
So you-
and a gunshot.
And I'd imagine you'll find a lot of inspiration, like when you're walking the streets of Venice and all the sidewalks only smell like human urine. And you're stepping over the meth addicts like with detached body parts. I guarantee there will be so much inspiration for new material that everyone can relate to.
Well, stand-up it's bringing light to dark situations, so I wanted to surround myself with poverty and homelessness, but pay an extremely large sum of money to live right next to the poverty.
Like, how can I live in poverty for the most amount of money? Venice, Santa Monica is
Actually,
the answer.
that is probably the most accurate way to describe it. How much do you want to pay to live 100 feet from people who are rent-free?
Yeah.
And they're sleeping on the beach. We're talking about oceanfront, like we're distancing ourselves with homes. They're sleeping on the sand.
And you've
free.
got a back alley view of a dumpster.
Yep, and them in the dumpster. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Just kidding.
Damn.
That's an act I do where I forget there's a cameraman.
No, leave him.
Yeah, man. I've been enjoying the pool here in Mexico in the winter. Right now the water's 46 degrees. Every morning I get in, I love the polar plunge thing, where to me it's like it's the walking real life metaphor of do the thing that makes you uncomfortable and it teaches you it's not going to kill you. You experience the discomfort, like getting on stage is like, to me this is harder, but this is training to do things that are currently hard.
That's funny. It's funny that for you, if you feel like this is harder, I feel like stand-up is harder than anything. Getting on that stage is still like, it's the one thing that gets me like where I feel fear and I'm like nervous and excited.
Yeah.
And that's like the only place I get adrenaline. So
Cool.
like the cold stuff, which I love very much, it doesn't do the same like
Yeah.
stand-up does more than anything else for me.
And then we've got our trees, the green belt.
Yeah, I've seen this in videos. I
Yeah.
feel like I've already been here.
It's actually the version you see in videos. I've got a whole studio that we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get it
Developing.
set up to do a backyard replica.
Yeah.
Then after that was all complete, my wife said, like, why don't you just use the backyard? I said, well, fuck.
Well,
Like,
that's
I guess
why you got married, right?
I guess I wish I would have thought of that first.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me, babe.
Babe.
So now we just, I'm
Use
just
the
still
real
paying
one?
rent on the studio, but we just use the backyard for videos now.
I'm excited to show you the car. Let me post this.
Cool.
and we can-
I'll pretend like I didn't see it when you pulled up.
Oh, you did? Damn it. That's true. So, this is a 2000. I don't know. This is like a 1980 car.
Oh, wow.
This is genuinely the worst thing I've ever driven
looks,
in my entire life.
man, it looks solid. Like, we should be okay as long as
Do you
it's
wanna-
just a light breeze out.
I'll get in for you. Watch the car drop. It genuinely changes height.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate difference.
Yeah.
You got a little
man.
space back here for your bag.
No, that's all right. I'll just,
Sit with it.
yeah. I like the feature of your knees just going into the dashboard rather than having space for them.
So actually what I did want to do, if you don't mind holding this for just a second, is we're going to put this top down. This is a convertible. I got the high-end smart car.
You're such a walking paradox. Like, the experience of poverty and luxury combined.
I honestly don't think anybody should be poor enough where they have to drive one of these. I would rather walk on my hands. Like it's a terrible experience.
I think that's what Trump's presidency stands for. Like, how can we be in immense poverty while having like an experiential feature of luxury? It's like, oh, cool, we'll just make the crappiest car imaginable and put a convertible top on it.
I think it's just a zipper. I actually have no idea how to get this thing down, and I thought it would be really cute if it like went down while we were in it, and we had this really, cool shot.
Yeah,
here we go. Watch out.
Wow.
Yes.
It's getting colder. This is much less comfortable.
Do you have a jacket?
I'm a real man.
Yeah, I know you do.
I mean, I
Called
have
plunges.
jackets, Ian. You saw my
I
house.
saw. I figured they jackets in there. I don't know if you have like a whole wardrobe.
I don't know
in
what
there,
I have in here. Let me look.
but it can get a little chilly sitting there for. Oh, okay.
I have a sword
Okay. Yep.
and a journal from Capitalism Conference.
Oh, hey.
Hashtag Ryan Moran.
Ryan Daniel Moran. Hey.
And it says JP Sears on
Oh,
it.
that's cool. You got your
I'm
name
not,
on
I'm
yours.
not
I didn't
going to
get
share
one of
that.
those.
So yeah, I might.
I mean, it's a good
maybe
place
I'll,
to carry a sword. But
maybe I'll borrow
I don't
one of
know
your
how warm-
jackets.
Yeah, you can do that. I think there's another jacket in here. We might need another jacket. Oh, there it is. It's here. We're good.
I like how to get something out of the back seat, you go behind the car.
I really did think that these were like, oh, maybe there is some sort of draw to the smart car. You know, maybe there is something about them that's like cool, and maybe they actually drive kind of nice. It is so much worse than I anticipated.
Yeah, it's like also like a 10-speed bicycle with someone who has very weak legs.
It's like a 10-speed bicycle, but slower and way more dangerous and way worse. I was sitting
It's
at a
comfortable. You know the anally violating seats on bicycles? Those would be more comfortable
I
than
would
this.
prefer that.
By the way, I'll
So-
put my sword away. I'm
While
afraid
we-
we'll
while
get
we
stabbed
drive-
in the
to add-
face in a
Actually,
fender
honestly,
bender.
I think it's safer to drive with a sword in this thing than
To your
without a
neck.
sword. So it is there is no power steering. So it makes me feel manly too, because I
How
am the power
progressive.
steering. Like, there is no other option. This is why you go to the gym if you have a smart car, is not because you feel inadequate as a person,
Yeah.
but because you physically need to in order to turn the car.
Yeah, it feels like, yeah, not a team of scientists designed this, but like a team of like Reiki practitioners designed it. Like,
Yes.
hey, this just feels like a good shape.
The square is extremely powerful in Ayurvedic medicine.
Yeah, it's like, it's more of a Taurus kind of thing, and we're tired and we don't want to do a second design that might be better. I think convertibles and cruise ships are part of the same conspiracy theory, where I firmly believe nobody enjoys either. It's just we're told that we believe it, so people mindlessly go along with like, oh, I like to be like held hostage on a ship with a bunch of other drunk rednecks from Oklahoma. Like, that, not doing what I want to do, that sounds fun. Or like, oh, convertible, what would be more comfortable than riding in a comfortable car? How about the most uncomfortable force of nature, wind blowing your hair, getting in your eyes, and you're either going to be too cold or too hot, too much sun on you, or too much rain on you. But you know what? We're going to tell you that's a luxury, America. You're going to be mindless enough to believe it because of the influence of the Freemasons, who were heavily dictated to by the Illuminati.
Preach.
And here we are being the mindless byproduct of it all, thinking, let's get a convertible. We'll enjoy it. Or take a fucking cruise. You know what, Ian? I don't want to be on a fucking boat with you or anybody else. I don't want to be in this fucking convertible. But like, to be a team player, I'll roll with it. But that's my theory. Does that make sense?
No, I mean, I actually find those to be remarkably accurate, and I think that I fall into the go park.
I think we can probably go into the restaurant in this
I
car.
think we can take this inside.
So
but
we would like a table for this
we'd
car.
like a table. We'll take it in the car, like Sonic, but in a normal restaurant.
Man, when we go in, just don't tell them about the sword in the bag.
Should I put the top up?
Well, we could just tip the car over in case it rains.
I've always had this feeling that if I park a car badly, that I could just pick it up and move it, which isn't true because cars are heavy. But I feel like this is true with this. I feel like with this you could do it.
And he's like, that's why I do steroids.
See, but the problem is the plastic is just gonna rip off.
Yeah, and
I
it's
could have
all
lifted
dirty.
it totally. Just know that.
And this is cool. I've never been here. I usually just go to the nice parts of town.
Hello. How you doing? Good. How are you guys doing? Good, thanks. Do you have coffee by any chance? I do. Nice.
Are you paying, Ian?
Oh, I got this.
I think you should do a segment where it's like new entrepreneurs in cars getting beverages. That way it's like they're asking, like, can you get this one? Because like I'm out of cash.
Yeah, that would actually. He's filming us, if that's okay. We're gonna go outside.
Oh, okay. What are y'all doing?
He's a YouTube famous person.
Okay.
what I
so
tell
there's
people.
no Skinamax thing going on out there?
Oh, there's well,
Well,
actually, we're
if,
branching
if
out.
it's cool,
Oh,
I mean,
if
Yeah,
there,
it's
so.
called Two Straight Dudes Trying to Become Gay. We think it's gonna be huge.
yeah. I always find it both uplifting and inspiring being around people who are day drinking.
Dude,
It just makes me want to accomplish more.
I have to say that I'm one of those people. I'm a fan of day drinking because also
Man,
you also learn
You're
who can
convincing
drink.
me.
Because most people cannot day drink and make it anywhere or function well at all. So you learn very quickly which friends are good at day drinking.
Can you hold that for me for a second?
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you.
So I am curious, how do you? Because
Okay.
well, so okay. It's the answer to most questions I've found. Cool. That's a wrap. We got it. So I'm curious with with all the comedy stuff that you do,
Let's
How
not
do you-
be so modest, Ian. Fame and fortune.
with all the fame and fortune that you've found in your life. Actually, how do you get stopped very often? Because you also are very distinctly recognizable everywhere.
What are
like
you- what are you
there
saying?
are people that are famous but they can hide. I got to tell you a
What are you
story about
saying?
Bruce Willis. I saw him at the airport in LA the other day, and it was one of these weird moments. So I go through security, and then you know how you just make eye contact with a person. It was just and I was like, oh fuck, I'm staring in Bruce Willis's eyes right now.
Oh, no.
And he just gives me this look, and he's and it was
Like he
the
knows.
smoothest. I was like, whoa, that's what it's like to stare in the eyes of a movie star. Because like
Yeah.
I've been around like professional athletes, not the same,
Yeah.
not the same thing. And it was his lip, and he had his hat on, and I was like, I just had a moment with Bruce Willis. And I told my girlfriend, I was like, it's Bruce. And then I was like, I don't normally get weird about celebrities. I was like, oh, that was an interesting thing. We go out, and then she goes in the bathroom, and then I'm standing outside the like W.H. Smith book thing, right? And he ends up coming up right there again, and and he twists his body, so the hat on, and this woman just, boom, just like cuts him off. Totally, airport people that don't know where they're walking, and he just pulls his body. He just goes in the smoothest way while looking at me, and he goes, and I was like, what? It's like the smoothest experience of being
Yeah.
human I've ever seen. He like gets cut off while looking me in the eye, while smiling, while being like, this is how life is, huh? Bruce Willis. Boom. And he just keeps going. And I was like, God damn. I just want like a 12th of that. And I'm a pretty calm guy. I want like a 12th of his demeanor at his
Yeah.
age. If I can get there, I've made it.
Dude, I would guess part of the grace of that, like when he saw you, like when he recognized you recognizing him, I'm sure he's had tens of thousands of people come up, like he sees them, recognize them, come up. They all say some variation of the same thing, like big fan, such a pleasure to meet you. So everything, all the impulses that you wanted to say and your feelings, I would guess he knew them before you did. And just through that look, you experienced the whole conversation with Bruce Willis. You were acknowledged for all the things you wanted to say but didn't say. And that is grace.
So do people come up to you pretty often?
Yeah, I had one experience. I was in Seattle doing comedy shows for a weekend, and it was a Saturday morning, so I'm at Whole Foods eating breakfast, got the hot bar, plate full of bacon, and they're in the cafeteria area. And there's like this really delightful, sweet lady, like she looked at me like she recognized, like she comes up to me, she says, "Are you that vegan guy?" I looked down at my bacon and just said, yes. But man, it's always a delight, 99% of the time.
Yeah.
And once in a while, people are like really shaking for whatever reason, just their nerves
Super
are struck.
nervous, yeah.
Check the front pocket of
I
the
do have.
suitcase.
Oh, actually, I'm so curious what's in here. I played the sword. So I did have, I don't prepare questions, but I actually did have a couple things I wanted to ask you.
Nor are you an expert in getting into
Bags.
suitcases.
This is why I have my backpack that's just got one. So
Careful,
you just
that's
carried the essentials, huh?
Yeah.
It's just swords, tea, and a journal.
We're in Texas, bro.
How did you get this? Is
I don't-
Bruce the name of the sword, or is
So-
Bruce the guy who made the
That's
sword?
funny. I have never seen that word Bruce on that sword. Tells you how much I pay attention to things. So I don't know where that came from.
Do you know a Bruce?
Bruce Willis.
Whoa, wait a minute.
And now
Did-
you're gonna get insanely jealous and start stabbing me, you fucking stalker.
Of all the timing. Are you friends with Bruce Willis? Is this all, did he even fly anywhere that day? Or did we just have that moment in the airport so that he could,
You and I right now are on a high dose of psilocybin. You have forgotten about it. So we are connecting to the same body of thought that neither of us have experienced in our lives, but we're plugged into via the thought realm.
that makes sense. So now, first of all, how do you now make your living? If however much you're willing
I
to
don't
share.
earn money.
You don't. You
I
just get paid in
Just
sabers,
My wife.
in weapons, and your wife earns the living.
So
I
then,
know you have the membership group.
yeah, so the monetization, it seems to be a ever evolving thing, and my job is to let it keep evolving and changing because it gets better. So I've got my private membership community for people who are genuinely interested in self-growth but want to have a good time doing it. It's called Awaken with JP Premium AF. There's the normal YouTube monetization, which is
The
pretty
commercials
small
and stuff,
potatoes.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I've got a line of t-shirts. There's occasional product endorsements I'll do. There's speaking and private performances I'll do. And then the past year, what is now the biggest moneymaker out of all that is the comedy shows.
Really? So that's actually become the most profitable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for you. That's incredible.
It's so stupidly amazing where, I get to be paid and earn a good living, literally showing up and having fun with the crowd for an hour
Yeah.
15 at a time. Like, literally we laugh. And apparently that's valuable enough that life says, like, cool, we'll support you with this. And I really don't know if I'm dreaming or if it's actually happening, or maybe how could it not be both at the same time? Like, life has me stupidly blessed today. I feel so grateful. I never could have measured this in foresight, so it was taking a lot of that risk, feeling a sense of purpose, feeling scared, but jumping off the cliff anyway. And one of those cliffs was, I'm gonna do 1 day less of life coaching a week and then 2 days less. And then what felt like a big cliff for me was when I finally let go of my whole life coaching client practice, January 2017.
Oh, so it was that long that you continued to do some.
Yeah. So 3 years-ish. It was very scary to let go of the client practice because I was measuring everything I'm gonna lose, this much money, and worked so hard to build this up. And it's great. It's like easy to let go of something crappy, but to let go of something
you enjoy it.
great.
It's rewarding and you
But
have fun with it.
the call was there. I think that inner call that we all have, just do we listen to it or not, it was calling me to let go. Still scared the crap out of me, and very grateful for going into the risk of letting it go and the willingness to feel the fear so I could let it go.
Yeah, that's I think that's what I was talking to you about with stand-up, is like, how long are you willing to not do the thing that you know you're supposed to be doing? People go a long time. People go, maybe it was 13 years maybe in the beginning, right? It's
Yeah.
like, people go a lifetime. Most people never do the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I think there's this illusion people have that fear is going to stop, that the fear is going to go away one day, that it's going to just be an easy switch.
Yeah.
It's like, no, there's no fearless. There is nobody who is without fear. There are just, like, for me, it's being without fear of fear. It's like, oh, fear
100%.
is completely fine. I really enjoy the fear that I have, because if I didn't have fear, I would 100% be dead.
Yeah.
Everybody would be. And it's
Yep.
like, the idea, that's what a lot of the cold training, what I learned through that, especially when it was so bad out in Iceland, like, The second day, I literally thought my shins were gonna shatter. Like, it was so cold in that one, and it was just really breathing in and slowly breathing out and being like, oh, this sucks really badly, and that's totally okay.
Yeah.
And the more you try and make the suck go away, the worse the suck gets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm just completely fine with all this pain and all this fear. And then it's funny because when you become completely okay with it, it actually goes away. And then you're like, oh, wait, that was weird. Like, I stopped trying to fight this feeling and be okay with the emotion, and suddenly I feel good.
To me, that's a code for success. It really is. Everything you just said is just priceless. And trading in the resistance for surrender, like that's magic right there. And the water, it's as cold every single day. The cold never goes away, but your intimidation of the cold, that can go away.
Yep.
It's the fear of the fear can go away. So it's like, does it take us 13 years to do the thing because we're afraid of the fear? Or can we like minimize the fear of the fear, and now it takes like 13 minutes to do the thing. We still get scared doing it, but we're not as intimidated to go into the fucking arena. Gladiator analogy.
Yes! Gladiator, still my favorite movie. Seen it more than any other movie. Anything Gladiator, I'm in.
Man,
I got the sword. Do you want to kill some people?
Yes, and who? Morgan.
Nice improv. Yeah, we only got one guy here. We already got the footage.
We have some day drinkers inside in the bar. I'm guessing they'll
I don't
be.
like killing day drinkers. I love their enthusiasm.
Well, they'll be good warm-ups, and they bleed out faster.
Because alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's. Should we meander back in the final run in the? I was gonna say Miata.
Dude,
I don't know. It's not a Mazda Miata.
It's at least as shitty as a Miata, though.
I don't know what I would
probably
prefer.
More, though.
I think it's worse.
Would you mind holding that for me?
I do not. Yeah, I'm pretty beat up. Surprisingly so. Just drive with it.
Ian, I will tell you this. I had my ping pong table delivered on Monday. And if you want to bring your sissy-ass tennis skills upstairs of my house, then I can wipe the floor with you. And I'm happy to do that.
Oh, okay. You don't know how excited I get about ping pong. Like,
it's the gentleman's game, really.
It is the greatest thing that exists.
I agree. Yeah. We'll go upstairs, bro.
We'll have to play a little ping pong.
Come on now.
Okay.
Oh! The key for me excelling at ping pong is to hold my breath for most of the time. I feel like that helps anxiety build.
Oh, you smelly tit!
There, he's frustrated. Keep that frustration going
No
here.
idea what frustrated looks like.